All right, let's dive in. Ready to unlock some serious potential.
Yeah.
We're all about mindset and opportunity today and how, like, a little shift in perspective can really make a difference?
Yeah, for sure. So we're diving deep into Eddie Pinero's Right Attitude Attracts Success on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it's a great video packed with insights. I think it goes way beyond like that typical motivational fluff. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And he kicks things off with this crazy story about his experience with breath work.
Mm.
Like he's visualizing himself climbing down this dark canyon.
Oh, wow.
And as he goes down, the world like transforms and becomes all vibrant and colorful.
Ah, that's such powerful imagery.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like he's saying, hey, you've got this incredible, authentic self, like hidden beneath all this self-doubt and these limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
And the journey to uncover it, it might be challenging, but the rewards are so worth it.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of self-love, because Pinero really emphasizes it as the foundation for recognizing and seizing opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
He even quotes Charles Bukowski.
Oh,
He says, if you have the ability to love yourself first.
right. And it's so true.
Yeah.
And he's not just talking about surface level self-acceptance here. Pinero's advocating for a deep, unwavering love for yourself, flaws, and all that
Yeah.
kind of self-love. That becomes the bedrock for genuine confidence and resilience.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like you're finally free from needing external validation. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You can make choices that are truly aligned with your own values instead of like what other people expect of you.
Exactly. And that freedom, that's what allows you to break free from what Pinero calls learned helplessness.
Okay, so what is that?
Yeah.
He describes how we often settle for less
Yeah.
and accept uncomfortable situations as if they're just like an inevitable part of life.
Yeah, it's the sneaky belief that we have no control over our circumstances. So we just kind of passively accept them.
Yeah.
But Pinero, he challenges us to question that assumption. He says we have the power to change our reality if we're willing to challenge those limiting beliefs.
He uses this example that I think we can all relate to. Picture that friend who spends hours just glued to the TV, kind of just letting life pass them by.
Ugh, yeah, I know that person.
Pinero argues that missed opportunities, those are the most expensive things in life,
Yeah.
even though they're often invisible.
It's true. And that brings us to the concept of opportunity cost. Like, every choice we make comes at the cost of something else.
Oh, yeah,
Even if it's not immediately apparent, there's always a trade-off.
for sure.
So while binge watching that show might seem harmless in the moment you're missing out on time, you could be pursuing passions, learning new skills, or building relationships.
Pinero specifically calls out reckless time use, especially with our phones. It's easy to get caught in that cycle of endless scrolling.
It's so true. I'm like totally guilty of that sometimes.
Me too. It's hard to resist.
He's not saying all downtime is bad, though.
Right.
He even quotes Keith Urban, "The best days of my life were all that wasted time."
Oh, that's interesting.
The key is to be mindful and intentional about how you spend your time.
Yeah.
Find a balance between pursuing goals and allowing yourself to simply enjoy life.
So how do we break free from that cycle of inaction
Yeah.
and start creating the lives we want? Pinero's message boiled down to two powerful words: just go.
Yeah. Those two words are like a call to action. They remind us that we can choose a different path. Step outside of our comfort zones and pursue those some days that we often put off indefinitely.
He acknowledges that change can be scary, though.
Yeah.
He uses this imagery of like crumbling walls to describe that feeling of leaving behind a familiar situation,
Yeah.
even if it's not ideal.
Right.
It's like we're programmed to resist change, even when it's ultimately for the better.
That discomfort is natural, though. It's the fear of the unknown. But Pinero argues that true growth happens when we embrace that discomfort.
Yeah.
When we're willing to step into the unknown and trust that we have the resilience to navigate the challenges ahead.
He even challenges the idea of happily ever after. He argues that it's not a destination, but a series of cycles. There will always be new challenges, new obstacles to overcome.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
why constantly evolving and adapting.
Exactly. And that's where the courage to just go comes in. It's about having faith in yourself to face those challenges head on, knowing that you'll emerge stronger and wiser on the other side.
Okay, so he makes this really thought-provoking point. He says, sometimes the wrong nows have a tendency to evolve into the wrong forevers.
Wow.
Those small compromises we make, those times we choose comfort over growth, can actually lead us further from the lives we truly desire.
It's true. It's a reminder that inaction has consequences. By choosing to stay stagnant, we're essentially deciding to remain stuck. Pinero's message is a call to break free from that cycle and embrace the possibility of creating something new and exciting.
So it sounds like going is really about embracing both self-love and opportunity. It's about trusting yourself enough to take that leap of faith and create the life you envision, even when it feels scary or uncertain.
Precisely. And what's so inspiring about Pinero's message is that he doesn't just tell us to go. He also provides practical advice on how to navigate the inevitable challenges that come with pursuing our dreams. He reminds us that we don't have to have all the answers, we just need to trust ourselves to figure things out along the way.
Okay, I'm really curious to hear more about that.
Yeah.
What are some of those practical steps Pinero suggests we can take to embrace the unknown and start building our someday into reality?
So one of the most powerful tools I think Pinero offers is this idea of shifting our perspective.
Okay.
Like instead of focusing on getting everything right, he encourages us to adopt a mindset of continuous learning and growth.
So it's more about the journey than like reaching some perfect end goal.
Exactly. He uses this analogy of a bird flying through unpredictable gusts of wind. The bird can't control the wind, but it can adapt and adjust its course to stay aloft, right?
Right.
So in the same way, we can't predict every twist and turn life will throw our way, but we can learn to be flexible, resilient, and trust our ability to navigate the unexpected.
That makes me think of the saying, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yes. And Pinero reminds us that sometimes the most valuable lessons come from those unexpected detours and challenges. Those are the moments that force us to step outside our comfort zones and discover hidden strengths we didn't even know we had.
So instead of fearing the unknown, we should embrace it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery.
Exactly. Pinero encourages us to shift our focus from trying to control outcomes to simply trusting the process and being open to the possibilities that unfold.
That makes me think about his concept of some days.
Yeah.
He talks about how achieving those long-held dreams can actually lead to like new goals and aspirations,
Yeah.
like a never-ending cycle of growth and evolution.
Yes. He uses his personal story as an example.
Oh, cool.
He talks about building a successful business and surrounding himself with like-minded people. And achieving that someday didn't mean he just stopped striving.
Right.
It opened up new horizons and inspired him to set even bigger goals.
That's so inspiring. It's like each milestone gives us the confidence and momentum to keep pushing ourselves further.
Precisely. And it highlights the importance of recognizing those achievements and taking the time to appreciate how far we've come.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting.
Uh,
Piero emphasizes that looking back on our successes isn't about dwelling in the past or getting complacent.
right.
It's about using those experiences as fuel to propel us forward.
I love that perspective. It's about drawing strength from our past triumphs to overcome current challenges and keep moving toward future successes. It's a beautiful cycle of growth and resilience.
He even says, without acknowledging how far you've come, you cannot acquire the strength needed to go where you must go. It's like we need to acknowledge those wins, big or small, to build the confidence to keep going.
Yeah. It's a reminder that we're capable of far more than we often give ourselves credit for. When we feel discouraged or doubtful, reflecting on those past successes can reignite our belief in our abilities and remind us that we have the power to overcome any obstacle.
So it's not just about setting goals and chasing some days, but also about recognizing those moments of triumph along the way and using them to fuel our continued growth. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Eddie Pinero's right attitude attracts success, what stands out to you as the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think it's that shift from focusing on getting everything right to simply going. It's like this profound mindset change that unlocks so many possibilities.
Yeah, it's like letting go of the need for perfection and control and like embracing the messy, unpredictable, beautiful journey of life.
Exactly. Pinero emphasizes that the journey is as important as the destination. It's in those moments of failing, learning, and adapting that you discover who you are and what you're truly capable of.
And that brings us back to self-love. It's about trusting yourself enough to take leaps of faith, make mistakes, learn from those experiences, and keep moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers.
Exactly. And Pinero highlights how powerful it can be to acknowledge past achievements, though some days you've already turned into reality. It fuels your belief in yourself and your ability to keep creating the life you desire.
So reflecting on your past wins isn't about dwelling in the past or getting complacent. It's about recognizing your strength and resilience. It's like saying, hey, I did that. I overcame challenges and achieved something I once thought was impossible. If I can do that, I can do anything.
Right. It's that mindset that allows you to embrace the unknown without fear. Think of Pinero's bird analogy, navigating unpredictable gusts of wind. You don't need to control every aspect of your journey. You just need to trust your ability to adjust your course and keep moving forward.
So instead of waiting for the perfect moment or obsessing over having all the answers, Pinero encourages you to simply start. Take that first step, even if it's small, and trust that you'll figure things out along the way.
Every step, every experience is an opportunity to learn, grow, and discover hidden strengths. It's a chance to create a life that is truly unique and meaningful to you.
To wrap up, I want to leave you with Pinero's powerful question. What would your life look like if you stopped focusing on getting everything right and just focused on going? What dreams and passions have been calling to you? What step can you take today, even a small one, to start bringing those some days into reality?
It's a call to action, an invitation to step outside your comfort zone, embrace uncertainty, and trust in your incredible potential. Go out there and make it happen.
That's awesome advice for our listeners. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Eddie Pinero's inspiring message.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
And to you listening, thanks for joining us. We hope you feel inspired and ready to embrace the power of going in your own life.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.